Bethesda just released an inside look into one of the companions we get with Starfield. This time, we learn about Vasco, the robot from the Starfield reveal trailer.
Hi, I'm Istvan Paley, lead artist on Starfield at Bethesda Game Studios. We're excited to introduce you to one of our favorite companions in the game.
Hello.
Constellation's very own expeditionary robot, Vasco.
Lead artist Istvan Paley tells us about Vasco in this update and will be giving us some interesting details.
As an early model built by Lunar Robotics, Vasco was refurbished to meet the requirements of Constellation's mission. He's a utilitarian, heavy industrial machine well suited to the rigors of space travel.
The first thing we learn is that Vasco was built by a company called Lunar Robotics. This is one of many pieces of lore found in Starfield, and I can't wait to explore it with you. Based on the look of the early model, it appears as though it was built as a weapon. Vasco has since been refurbished to meet the needs of Constellation as a utility robot.
Vasco's design is based on a standard Type A bipedal chassis, capable of traversing rough terrain with all the survival gear and payload capacity needed for extended overland journeys. Vasco does have defensive capabilities, should the need arise, but his primary role is peaceful. He wears the white and red livery of Constellation, though many years in the field have worn the paint and dented a few panels.
How can I be of assistance?
But he's still the reliable companion that an intrepid explorer like yourself can depend on.
Vasco is based on the Type A bipedal chassis. This gives him the mobility needed for most terrain. He has some specialized gear for rough terrain that can aid in many situations. Though built for utility purposes, Vasco does have defensive capabilities, as some of the weapon systems from the original design are still present. Since Vasco is part of Constellation, he bears the colors of white and red, though, as noted, slightly dinged up over many years in service. I wonder if we got him at a discount. At any rate, he is a fitting companion for us. Now, let's address the elephant in the room, that being gameplay footage. Many in the community have been speculating that Starfield may be delayed because of the lack of proper gameplay footage. Let me just say, this is not going to happen. If you look back at previous Bethesda game launches, you will see a pattern of behavior. Bethesda tends to release gameplay footage around 5 to 6 months before the actual release date. But Kane, we have known about Starfield for years now, you might say. And you would be right. With titles like Fallout and The Elder Scrolls, Bethesda didn't need any massive marketing for any of those, because they were already well known. So, when they release new games for those titles, Bethesda knows they will sell. However, with Starfield, it is a new IP. No one knows anything about this game, so Bethesda was forced to approach the marketing for this game differently. They decided to announce the game with a quick teaser and have followed that up with little bits of information being put out every so often. Now, I know that many of you might be thinking, but why not just show us gameplay? Well, in Bethesda's eyes, gameplay footage is the big reveal. So I would expect the gameplay footage to be shown no earlier than May of this year, since Starfield releases on November 11th. To a degree, Bethesda is still following the same model that has worked for them in the past, with one exception. That is the constant flow of game information for Starfield. I want to be clear here. Bethesda knows what they are doing. They have multiple game launches that are and were very successful. I expect Starfield to follow this standard as well. Having said all that, I want to hear from you. What do you think about Vasco? Do you think we will see gameplay footage in May or June? Sound off in the comments below. If you enjoyed this episode, give a like, subscribe if you still haven't, and share this with your friends. It really helps the channel, and I appreciate you all. As always, I'm just glad you stopped by, and I'll see you in the next one.